Hello and welcome. This is Ulysses for Best Family Dogs. I wanted to make a video today to talk about bilateral proprioceptive stall. I get a lot of questions about bilateral proprioceptive stall on my social media, just people generally wondering what this condition is, how does the dog get it, can puppies get it, and basically what happens when a dog is diagnosed with bilateral proprioceptive stall. So Titan was diagnosed several years ago with bilateral proprioceptive stall. He is no longer with us at this point in time. In Titan's case, he got bilateral proprioceptive stall just as part of his aging process as the spine and the brain stopped communicating effectively with each other. As his body aged, the neurons weren't as able to innervate as quickly or as well as they were at his younger years. So one of the first things that we started to notice with Titan was he suddenly and progressively started to lose the ability to grip the harder wood floors, the laminate flooring. He would slip more easily, and he got really weak all in the hind legs. So he was still very strong up front, but started to get very weak in the back. At first it was just a little bit of general weakness that was easy to overcome, but as the condition progressed, he got severely weak in the hind legs to the point where he couldn't tolerate walking on tile floors or laminate flooring, anything that was kind of shiny and slippery. He couldn't tolerate anymore, and he could only handle carpet. Along with his progression of bilateral proprioceptive stall, he also developed incontinence of stool and eventually incontinence of urine. So it is a progressive illness that does end up affecting the continence of the dog as well. So it was quite a challenge the later that it got, but it was definitely worth it because he was our dog for so long, and you know, we loved him, and we were reassured by the vet all the time that this is not a painful condition for the dog, and also that animals, they just live for the moment. So Titan was never really concerned with the fact that he was losing abilities, because he was more focused on what was happening in the present, and he continued to eat, and he continued to drink, and he continued to want to go for walks. So these were the big meaningful things that made us assured that Titan still had a decent quality of life. Most of the problem actually came when we were out on walks. The public would notice the weakness in the hind legs, and they would automatically assume that this must be a very painful condition, and they would often remark things like, you know, that must be so painful for your dog. Oh, look at his hips. Oh, look at his weak legs. You know, he looks like he needs quote unquote more pain medication, or maybe he needs to go see the vet and get a quality of life assessment, or, you know, just things around needing pain control, needing a second opinion, and things like that. But we felt that we were doing everything that we can to make sure that Titan was in the best situation at that time, and being reassured that he had no pain, and being reassured that he was still doing the things that he enjoyed in terms of eating, drinking, playing, and still wanting to go outside on his own accord. So, you know, I just, for anyone in a similar position with an elderly dog, when the public tries to think that they know better than the owner, you know, they're not the ones with your daily, day-to-day lived experience. They're just seeing it from a one-off on the side of the street while they're walking by. And I just want to encourage owners not to be upset about those comments, as hard as it is sometimes. And just to reassure you that you know your own dog best, and if you're able to say that your dog still has a great quality of life, if you know that there's no pain there, or maybe you're managing pain well, and that's fully acceptable. I just, you know, don't want other people's comments to make a dog's owner feel bad, because for every dog owner that is on the journey in the senior dog years, they're working really hard at doing everything they can for that dog and for themselves. And the last thing they need is to hear questions and opinions from the public, from outsiders that don't know them. So, you know, if you are looking after that senior dog right now, excellent job. Keep it up. If you have any questions or concerns, you can leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know how it's going. I'd love to know what the positive things are on a daily basis. So please let me know. Keep it up, and I'll get back to you soon with some more videos and articles on my website about caring for dogs. Thank you.